going to be hit the hardest because basically they know we don't have no money in the black community. Yeah, what's happening? It's your boy Kings on TV. Black people are getting laid off. Most of the jobs. I just wanted to touch down with this coronavirus thing, man. Let some facts out. I want y'all to know that us black people can get it. Hopefully I can help try to save lives by just spitting out little facts or just talking about it. But as y'all know, last night, yesterday, Idris Elba had a test done and he was positive. They're saying there's a lot of things that people can do. I'm gonna try to keep aware of it, that we got to keep our immune systems up. So they saying, I thought it had something to do with it, but I just wasn't sure. I mean, just I guess using common sense, and I was thinking like smoking could affect your immune system, and you have a hard time. So they say coffee is bad for you, mess your immune system. Cheeses, they say coffee, different cheeses, greasy foods, all that stuff that is hard on your immune system. Now I might add this one in there. And just what I think. I think trying teas, any tea except for black tea. I've been looking forward to like a lavender or a peppermint tea. I just want to say keep y'all a bottle of brown vinegar. Take a teaspoon of that every now and then. All that natural stuff will help you get your immune system strong. You want to have fruits and vegetables, and try to stay to a plant-based diet to have your immune system at full effect. Now, I did want to touch on some theories because no one is for sure about how this COVID-19 coronavirus was made, or I want to say developed, because I don't think it's a man-made disease. I want to put a lot of fault on China, and like I say, a lot of rich people. They going on vacations and flying back, so they bringing it in. But the problem is that China, they've been knew about this stuff about a year ago, and they still want to do business, so they rather get their money. So they basically put the whole world in danger because they trying to do business. And China, they do business with a whole bunch of countries. They're all countries, you want to say, and that's why this shit is spread all the way around. I've been hearing a lot about these N95 masks. I want to say I've seen an N99 mask, but I ain't sure. I got a mask. I don't know what it is, but I know it ain't open. I mean, this is me theoretically explaining. Those open masks, you got the left and right of you where it's just a pocket open. I think those are less protective, but any protection helps because, say, for instance, even if you have it, and if you were to cough, it would at least, stop the projected range of you sneezing and coughing and having a chance to infect someone else. Now, this virus is very scary because there's people coming up and they're having no symptoms, but see, they're affecting people and not knowing it. And I think that's one of the most crucial things. I want to reiterate, stock up just for the simple fact that, everyone is taking all the toilet paper and the food. So, I mean, we got to be smart, try to survive. Uh, you know, help our neighbors. I guess they want to say at a 6 feet range. Uh, I'm getting worried of going out because the numbers keep going down. It was what 100 people, then 50 people. Now they're saying 10 people. It's like, is it going to go to 5 or 3? It's like, so we're like in a secluded lifestyle. Life is changing drastically every day. Uh, I hope a lot of like you is like me to hope this shit will end. We're hoping that some good weather can halt the process of what's going on. I do understand the numbers, and the scary part about the numbers is uh, the effect. They said it was 10 times worse than the flu. Now I'm pretty sure they're saying it's 20 times worse than the flu. I mean, people say open your eyes, people. Well, I'm pretty sure your eyes are open to see what's going on. Uh, as people's, this never happened to some in people's whole lifetime, and when you see stuff like this, it's like, you know, people starting to think is the world going to end or anything like that. So, if you could, like I said, hit the like button. Um, if you could in the comment section, because I don't know how long I'm gonna have this. This was like an update. I just left it open for Q&A. If somebody has something to say. But let us know if you had experience with coronavirus. We trying to do our little numbers, trying to see how much does it affect home. If y'all would see this video, I would like y'all to share if you know somebody with coronavirus. If you had coronavirus, uh, share what do you think. Give us some information. Um, I am aware that uh, it's not a death sentence. You're not going to die automatically. I mean, you can, especially if they're saying it's 20 times worse than the flu. So, like I said, wash your hands, clean your anything that you touch. Just do everything you can in your best ability to get through this, because it's going to take a collective behavior of help through everyone for us to get through this. We don't need everyone to participate. It's a lot of red flags. I don't understand how they still got some bars open with all those people in it. It's scary enough just to go outside or walk past where someone was at, just for the simple fact they say that the virus can stay in the air for 3 hours. Uh, you know, I'm not sure, because things are changing. I did pull up this coronavirus page just to try to find some facts in here, and basically everything else is already something that everyone should know if you've been trying to stay updated on this coronavirus. I would just try to tell everyone, try to stay busy, try to stay strong. Uh, do your best to protect yourself and your family and friends. Try to stay away from people that's over 60, because, like I said, you can end up being sick with it and not have any symptoms, but you can pass it off to an elder, a loved one, and it can be crucial. The uh, you know he can you want to keep your relatives safe. Um, I had some good stuff that I found on this lady. I was looking for it again. I wanted to play a little bit of it, but she is called the Fly Nubian something. So I guess there's a lot of Fly Nubians, I guess. But it's a Fly Nubian something, and this lady, she just tells you about things to keep your immune system up for this type of thing that's going on here. Wait a minute, let me see. Is this the right page? Okay, here we go. Maybe I can find her here. I mean, one second. Let me see. Fly Nubian 80-year-old lady. Okay, no. That is not the one I was actually looking for. Let me see if I can find it. No. Like they said, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Dr. Lee tried to warn us. They pretty sure they arrested him, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure which way, but Dr. Lee ended up dying. So therefore, the valuable information that Dr. Lee was trying to give us, he was gagged basically. And I'm gonna just play this. Just give you some information. Just something to help uplift people's spirits from this darn coronavirus. So I'm gonna play this. I'll be back with y'all in a minute.
To join and we'll get started in just a few seconds, okay? Or minutes, shall I say. Okay. We'll be talking about the coronavirus tonight. So waiting for everyone to come in.
Hold on, let me go a little, speed it up a little bit.
Running late again as usual.
Yeah, I'll be running late myself. I already know how it is.
Go and destroy the virus. Well, after he said that, the next thing you know, the internet's going crazy talking about, right, so no black people, exactly. So that's why they're so worried and concerned, like, why aren't these black people getting it, okay? They probably made it for us in the first place. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. But anyway, so all these rumors started being posted on different blogs. They were basically saying that the pastor who claims that he was going to destroy it, they said that he actually went to China, caught the virus, and was hospitalized. Then they went on to post a picture of him laying in the hospital bed with all these tubes and stuff. Come to find out, that's not even him, okay? None of that is true. And in fact, the picture they posted was an old picture from 2017. Now, the pastor who was saying that he was going to destroy it, his name is David Inglio Elijah, okay? He is from the Glorious Mount of Possibility Church. And so basically, this is not true that he got sick and that he went over there and he's in the hospital, any of these things. Because actually, the person on the picture, their name is, they were actually a Nigerian actor, okay, whose name was Adesina Adesanya. And he also went by the name of Pastor Ajidara. But this person is now dead. He actually died in 2017. So that is an old picture, and that is just lies and innuendo and rumors that have been spread on the internet by these bloggers, okay? And also India. Some of the people over in India actually put together an animated educational cartoon or a video. And in the video, they were basically saying that the virus started with Black people over in Africa. That's what they were trying to insinuate, okay? Basically trying to give the impression that the virus started in Africa, okay? And so that's one of the lies they've been telling. Now, also, as far as the people from France that are in Africa with the virus, well, let me find it. It says, as they were concerned about countries with weaker healthcare systems, according to the leader of the World Health Organization. Now, this was announced in February. That's what they always do. Exactly. That is what they do. Right. Even in the movies. Absolutely. Okay, so the leader of the World Health Organization was the one who basically in February voiced concern about countries with weaker healthcare systems being, having a hard time dealing with it. Now, the worry soon turned to confusion because so far there have only been the 9 cases confirmed on the continent of Africa out of more than 1 billion people. Now, 3 of the cases are in Algeria, 2 are in Egypt, 2 are in Senegal, and 1 in Nigeria, and 1 in Gambia. Now, they were some of these were all attributed to those people who traveled to Africa from other countries. Okay, so as I said, these are not Africans with this virus. It is people who traveled to Africa from other countries. Now, 2 experts told France that they aren't sure why Africa isn't being hit hard by the virus that has infected more than 87,000 people and killed more than 3,000 in over 60 countries. So, yeah, they're pretty upset, it sounds to me, that Africa or Africans are not being affected. And I heard a report maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard it since. I haven't heard anyone elaborate on it. I can't even find it now. But 3 weeks ago, I know for a fact, I heard a report where they said there was a man in Ghana. There was a Ghanaian man who had the coronavirus, but he was cured. Now, they said this like 3 weeks ago. They said he had the virus and he was cured. Now, I don't know if that was complete misinformation, but that's what was reported. But what I was thinking is that he was probably misdiagnosed, okay? Because how was he cured when they supposedly have no cure? So I'm thinking whoever this person was likely misdiagnosed, okay? Because let's not forget, the virus mimics the same symptoms as the cold and flu, okay? Because we got that melanin. Exactly, Lentoria, exactly, okay? And you know what? When they started talking about these plans that they were going to try to block out the sun and all of these things, I said then on one of my lives, I said, I hope that every nefarious thing they're doing to try to destroy us turns around and backfires on them. Okay? So this could be what's happening. All right? Because all of these things that they're trying to do, all these different chemicals they're putting into food and all these different things they're doing and trying to block out the sun, all of that stuff is meant to try to depopulate Black people. That is a big agenda that they have, okay? And here's the thing. There's no such thing as the earth being overpopulated, because anytime someone is born, someone else dies, okay? So they're full of crap when they're talking about overpopulation and the fear of that. No, the real fear is too many of us, okay, against them. Even in the story in the Bible, when they talk about the Egyptians enslaving the Israelites, and what did the Pharaoh have them to do? He had the midwives to start killing the Hebrew boys at birth, drowning them in the river. Remember the story of Moses, because his mother saved him, but they were killing them because they felt that one day these people would outnumber them and be over to take over them, or join forces with their enemies and take over them. So I'm pretty sure that dominant society feels the same way, okay? That's right. They feel the same way. That is why these state-sanctioned executions by police officers on unarmed Black people are happening, and there's no one being punished for them. Okay? This is all by design. It is absolutely not a mistake. If it were a mistake, and as they always want to tell us, we need more training. If it was really a problem of training, then why aren't they doing this to any other race of people other than us? Why aren't they doing it to Asians? Why aren't they doing it to white people? I'm just saying. So it's all a part of the plan. Okay? And here's another thing too. I want to talk about how these Chinese people are so racist. Okay. Now I did another video where I was telling you all about how they were complaining that they're being discriminated against because of the coronavirus coming from Wuhan, China, right? Initially, and also benign neglect at its finest. Yes, Bugina, you're absolutely right. Exactly. Now, they have been talking about how they've been, discriminated against, and people are being racist. And some businesses have actually put signs on their doors and windows that say "No Chinese allowed." Okay, so I'm just saying that's what Black people have gone through for years. Okay, but anyway, they're talking about they're being treated as though the yellow peril has come back, and the yellow peril is basically something that was going on with them, like I believe in the 40s and 50s, okay, when they were blaming stuff on the Asians. But so now they're talking about they're being discriminated against, right? But I find it so funny that they're complaining about that and they actually want sympathy, because I'm going to read to you a few things that they have been posting online, okay, blatantly displaying their racism. One of the posts says, "I am Chinese. I'm a Chinese with national self-esteem, national pride. My national self-esteem does not allow me to be compatriots with white pigs and jiggers," with an N, of course. "Therefore, I firmly oppose that. If it is enforced, I would rather give my Chinese nationality." And this was from someone who identifies himself as @KL Von Randall 01. Then the next one says, "I can't tolerate two kinds of people. The first one is racist. The second one is jiggers," again with an N. Okay. Now this is from someone who refers to themselves as @NPB6 Dior G CEYVME. Now I'm telling you all these identifications, so you just to put them on blast, basically. Okay, then another one who goes by @wings_UM says, "Get the hell out of China. I love my country and we don't need the garbage." "Not a word from your Black Congress on state executions of Blacks." Exactly, Robert, and thanks for joining. Korea is on that list too. No more bundles. Okay, Black women who wear your weave, he said, Korea is on the list too, so no more bundles. Robert, cut it out. Okay, and then Bugina says, "I don't give a F about these Asians being discriminated against when they always setting up shop in our hoods and treating us like shit after we've patronized their businesses." Exactly, Bugina, and that's why I have no sympathy for them. They're just as racist towards us as everybody else. So I don't have any sympathy that they're being racially profiled, that people are putting signs up saying that they're not welcome. No one's eating at their businesses or any of that. Okay? And Black women, for real, seriously, you don't need to be buying that hair from the Korean shops. I'm just saying. They have cases over there. All right? So that's what it is. Oh, and then let me read you this other one. Someone who goes by the name of @Shaiji Ying 2 says, "China is only the home of Chinese. We don't discuss it with the perspective of race or from the perspective of race, which is not good. But there are many boys in China who can protect Chinese girls, which means Chinese girls don't need to marry foreigners." Okay? And they call the white people white pigs. Let me make sure that's what they said. Yeah, they said we don't We don't want to be compatriots with white pigs and jiggers with an N, okay? I'm just saying. So I might start making anonymous calls to feed other damn restaurants. Right. Okay. Oh my goodness. But so anyway, listen. So let's talk about Bernie Sanders. Now, most of these people have dropped out of the race, and they've dropped out because they now know for a fact that they need the African American votes. Okay, they thought they were going to scoot by, trying to pander to us doing stupid things like I told you before, dancing and singing hip hop and all that crazy stuff. Here's the thing too: Bernie Sanders has gotten Killer Mike, a rapper, right, to promote and endorse him. He also went and sat down for a meeting with Cardi B. Does anyone remember that? You said Bernie dropped out. No. I didn't say Bernie dropped out, Booginas. It was Joe Kahan. Liz Warren was the last one. Bernie is still there. Bernie is still in. Yeah, it's between Bernie and Joe Biden. But he may as well drop out. Good evening, Queen. Caught you on my break again. Hey, Mr. Ernest, thanks for joining. So we were talking about the coronavirus earlier and how the experts were upset, are so concerned that it's not widespread in Africa. Now I'm talking about Bernie Sanders. Oh, damn, LOL, Joe Kahanis. Yes, because she knows darn well she's not a Native American. I'm sorry, she needs to cut it out, okay? She's not even mixed with it, all right? So, yes, so that's my nickname for her, Booginas. But Bernie Sanders, like I said, he's got Killer Mike endorsing him, and going around, doing these little conferences and trying to convince people to vote for him and all this stuff. Now, also, he sat down months ago in an interview with Cardi B. And I find it so funny and also insulting at the same time that these Democrats go and when they want to get the black vote, they go and talk to rappers. Like, why are they talking to rappers? I'm sorry. How does that make sense again? Why aren't they talking to black scholars? Okay. Why aren't they talking to people with PhDs who've gone to college, who study politics, who possibly even took political science in college? I'm just saying, why are they talking to rappers? What do rappers know? And at the end of the day, these rappers and entertainers and athletes, they do not represent or speak for African Americans as a whole. So I think the fact that they are going to talk to these people or using these people to try to sway our decisions as to vote for them, I think that's just idiotic, okay? Yeah, I remember that interview with Cardi that Bernie did. The failed 100 move. Exactly. Hey, Paco, cuz, how you doing, sweetie? Yes, that is a failed move, okay? Because here's the thing. If I was interested in someone swaying my opinion or giving me advice, do you actually think I'm going to listen to Cardi B and what she has to say or take advice from her? I think not, okay? Or Killer Mike, because at the end of the day, he is still a rapper, all right? Also, I find it so ridiculous that he's doing all of this stuff, endorsing Bernie Sanders when we all know that Bernie Sanders doesn't support reparations. Do you all remember when he had Jamie Fowler, the black reporter, removed from a venue by the Secret Service, all because the man asked him a question about reparations? He could have at least talked to a black rapper. Bet his ass won't sit down one with Lil Bootsy. He don't want that. You know what? Now, he's not going to sit down and talk to no rapper like Lil Bootsy. No, that's what he's not going to do. You are so right, okay? He is not going to do that. They're finding out the hard way. No black agenda, no vote. Exactly. Do they think we're going to change our minds? Do they not realize by now that we control the narrative? It's a wash. Okay. Now, I admit we have a few coons who they can pander to and who will, go along with their ridiculous agenda. But as a whole, most of us are not going to keep giving them our votes for free. They're not doing anything for us. Okay. And I also think, now I'm not saying this is a fact, but this is my opinion. For someone like Killer Mike to be going so hard for Bernie Sanders, and just really big up in him and all of that stuff, I hope that he's getting paid, okay? I I hope he's not doing this for free. He probably is getting paid, because I think that that is the incentive for most of them to do these things. Like Chuck D, for example. Okay, he even went as far as to fire Flavor Flav from the group. So I'm pretty sure he's getting paid. In fact, he had to have gotten paid when he did that performance on last Sunday. Okay, so this is just all so ridiculous, and we're really finding out people's true colors. They're finding out. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. But another thing is, I don't think that Biden is any better than Sanders, as I told you before. Okay, Biden wants us to forget all the stuff that he's done, and he arrogantly didn't apologize for anything pertaining to the crime bill or any of the other things that he's done that are racist. Remember the time when he was talking about, I did the video on that, Robert, I know you remember, when I did the video on him confronting the African-American community and saying that he talked to the men about they can wear condoms. Don't be afraid to wear condoms. It doesn't mean you're a man. It doesn't mean you're not a man if you don't wear condoms and all this ignorant stuff. First of all, like I told you all back then, Black men do wear condoms. Okay. In fact, as I said before, and I'll say it again, condoms cater to Black men. They actually have condoms that were made specifically for Black men. For those of you who may not know, if you didn't see my last video I did like 9 months ago about this, what Biden said about the HIV, here's the thing. First off, Black men wear condoms. That's why they made the Magnum condom specifically for Black men. And I'll tell you why those are specifically for Black men. First of all, they're sold in Black neighborhoods. You won't see those in the suburban neighborhood, okay? Or in any white areas. They're sold in Black neighborhoods. Second, they're called Magnum because they're named after a gun. Now, as Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, one of my favorite scholars, okay, she wrote the book, The ISIS Papers. One of the things that she said in her teachings was that they viewed, dominant society, they viewed the Black man's penis as a weapon, because they knew that Black men could genetically annihilate them because of our dominance, because of our melanin, right? And us having the dominant genes and them being recessive. So with that being said, that has a lot to do with the reason they would turn Black men into eunuchs during slavery, cut off their penises and castrate them and all of those things. And even to this day, they're still fascinated by it, okay? So that is why they made the Magnum condom that is specifically made for Black men. That's why it's called a Magnum, after a gun, okay? Because like she said, they equate a Black man's penis to a gun because they've always viewed it as a weapon. So with that being said, Bernie Sanders, why are you again trying to tell Black men that they don't have to feel that they're not a man if they wear condoms? Because they do wear condoms, clearly, or there wouldn't be a whole brand of condoms catered to them. Also, why does he think that Black people are the ones that have all the AIDS, HIV? Let us not forget the white DJ, I believe his name's John Pope, correct me if I'm wrong, but his last name is Pope, I know that. He was a DJ who had sex with over 600 Black women, a lot of them underage, so that makes him a pedophile. He was also arrested for trafficking them, okay, sex trafficking them, but he infected all of them with HIV, okay? So again, why is he trying to make it like Black people are the ones that have HIV only? Also, there is a town, like I told you all 9 months ago in the first video, there is a town that is all white people, and they have the highest rates of HIV. Okay? There's no Black people there. All right? I also told you how in a town, I believe it's in Rockdale County. Yes, Rockdale County, okay, Georgia. They had a few years ago, they had a syphilis outbreak. All white kids. It started at high school. That was predominantly whites. Supposedly they had an orgy, and all of these kids spread the syphilis throughout. Okay, this was all over the news. All right, you can look this up. It's all facts. So I'm saying, don't sit there and try to direct any STDs or HIV and all of that stuff to Black people when white people do it just as much, if not more. Also, when he referred to the little Black children as being poor, okay, like there's no poor white children. I'm sorry, but there's very many trailer parks where I live, okay? And the ones who live there are poor white people, not poor Black people, all right? Now, I know we do have poor Black people, But hey, we also have poor white ones. And as you can see, every time you see a case of welfare fraud where there's multiple people arrested, they're always mostly whites. Okay? So I'm just saying, they need to get it together. Stop trying to stereotype us and stigmatize us and act like we're the ones that have all of these issues, okay? And notice how they do it so sneakily that a lot of Black people who are not mentally inept or mentally quick on their feet won't even notice that they're insulting us, okay? Because he phrases it as though he's doing us a favor, as if he's giving us good advice, all right? It's like when they say, when I've had some of them say to me, "Oh, you speak very educated for one of you." What do you mean for one of you? First of all, that's not a compliment. That's an insult. So are you trying to say that most Black people don't speak fluently? I'm just saying, these are the kinds of things they do. So just pay attention to that. Scotts Bluff, Indiana. Yes, Robert, thank you. Exactly. And you remember that too, Beginners? Yes. Now, Robert knows I did a video on this like maybe 9 or 10 months ago. Okay, right after Biden first said those little ignorant comments. All right. So he's very racist. He's still racist. And the fact that somebody had the nerve to say that Bernie Sanders has changed, it was a Black pastor. He said, I can't remember if he was talking about Bernie Sanders or Biden, but the Black pastor who invited them, I'm sorry, it was Bloomberg. When they invited Bloomberg under to Selma to that church.
Yeah, I just was doing this little information page, man. Last thing I'm going to touch on is that, we got people talking about the 5G and the animals. Now, the 5G theory is interesting, and I do think it could be some harmful properties through the 5G. But, I'm always going for what the scientists say. And through my fact checking, this coronavirus is not man-made. It is spread from animals to humans. And it's basically about how does the virus spread from animals to humans. And I want to play a video. I hope I find the right one that I wanted to, because basically I hope this is it. It's just basically having too many animals. But I'm going to play this. We're going to see if this leads to what I think. I think it was spread from different animals, and it just turned to basically a fucking super germ, because you got too many different animals with these different diseases. And then now we had it. So I'm going to let this play out. Now, we're going to see what y'all really think. Is it from the
China's number of mysterious respiratory virus has more than tripled over the weekend. There are now 218 confirmed cases of the new coronavirus virus, most of them in Wuhan, where the outbreak originated. So far, 3 people have died. It's a very serious condition. 4 other cases have been reported outside of China. And scientists say the virus is getting stronger and is being spread by human-to-human contact. And that is especially worrisome, as hundreds of millions of Chinese are expected to travel this week for the Lunar New Year holiday, and then airports around the world are not taking any chances. They are screening passengers for symptoms. Remember the days of SARS, for instance? Now, officials in China think they know where the virus originated. And a warning, some of the images in this story are graphic. Here's Christy Loostout.
Barricaded and guarded by police with masks, Chinese authorities have traced a new deadly virus back to this seafood market in the city of Wuhan. They say a new strain of coronavirus originated here and put an entire region on edge. CNN has obtained this video filmed inside the market, showing that more than seafood was on offer for sale. Images of the market from early December taken by a concerned customer indicate it was apparently selling other live wild animals, including skinned birds, snakes, and raccoon dogs, sparking concern that the virus might have been transmitted from animals to humans. CNN has not independently verified this footage posted on Chinese social media site Weibo, which has since been deleted by government censors, according to the poster. When CNN contacted the market, they would not comment. The School of Public Health here at Hong Kong University is a leading authority in the study of emerging viral diseases. Professor Liao Peng is the virologist at the university and was among the first to decode the SARS coronavirus.
I would believe that this Wuhan outbreak was caused by animal virus, and then the animal actually carried this virus and spread to human. What we know is causing pneumonia, and then they don't respond to normal antibiotic treatment, so which is not surprising. But then in terms of mortality, SARS killed 10% of the infected individual.
Between 2002 and 2003, SARS infected more than 8,174 in a pandemic that reached 37 countries. Officials say the new virus was first detected in Wuhan on December the 12th. Some of the initial patients were employed at the seafood market. Hundreds of kilometers south of Wuhan, at this market in the southern city of Qingyuan, wild animals are crammed inside cages. Mallard ducks, rodents, even porcupines to be sold for consumption. It's not a unique sight in China where both animals are in close contact. This footage, not independently verified by CNN, is from Hong Kong broadcaster iCable, filmed on the 6th and 7th of January as the new strain was discovered. No indications any disease is lurking here, but according to the World Health Organization, scenes like this point to the potential risk of a new virus spreading.
These animals, we don't know their history. We don't know what kind of pathogens or viruses that they are having in their body.
In our interface with the animal world, there will always be the danger of spillover. As long as people eat meat, there is going to be some risk of infection.
The coronavirus that causes SARS was traced to the civet cat, a wild animal considered a delicacy in parts of South China. After the SARS outbreak, China outright banned the slaughter and consumption of civet cats in 2004. Local authorities in both Wuhan and Qingyuan tell CNN they don't know anything about the sale of illegal animals at such markets, and there are no open investigations. But 15 years after the ban, in this market in southern China, civet cats are seen lying inside cages, and this stall keeper says he is selling them. Ready for purchase. Christy Lustau, CNN, Hong Kong.
Well, we've just learned that the World Health Organization will hold an emergency meeting on Wednesday in a couple of days to decide whether this coronavirus outbreak is an international public health emergency. Our senior medical correspondent, Elizabeth Cohen, joins me now. So do we know how many of the people who became sick actually went to these markets that Christy Lustau told us about in her report?
Yeah, so that's basically
we don't
all
have an
on the
exact
show,
number,
man.
but
Like I said, I think this is a virus spread from this disease jumping from animal to animal and then to human. But you know, everybody got to be safe, man. I just tell everybody wash your hands. You know, stay protected the best way you can. Keep your distance, and you know, take care of your body. You know, try to make sure your immune system is up to par, so we can get through this pandemic. It's your boy K's on TV talking about this coronavirus, COVID-19. Y'all have a good, blessed day.